When a YouTuber's inserted in a specific niche, I feel that it is our solemn duty, our moral obligation to give our opinions on everything that niche has to offer. And luckily for me, a Nintendo YouTuber, today is a very special day, that being Mario Day, and I've collected a very special guest and great friend of mine to go ahead and rank every single mainline Mario game with me. This video was an absolute blast to make, so much fun was had, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below on what Nintendo series you'd like us to rank next. Anyways, without further ado, we are now going to rank every single mainline Mario game. I hope you enjoy. Hello everybody, welcome! And if you're watching this on Mario Day, well, happy Mario Day. And today I got a very special video in store for you. And I do have a very special guest with me today. And everybody, please welcome Matt Has No Cuts, or Matt Makes Content, whichever one you want to go by.
Hello everyone, my name's Matt. You can find me over at Matt Makes Content. I upload all kinds of Nintendo type videos, and I plan on getting that channel up and running very soon. Anyways, let's get into this Mario tier list. Let's start with worst. What was the worst Mario game in your opinion?
Okay, well this is like a little bit of a tough question because I don't think there is a really I don't think a single Mario game on this list is bad.
I think so.
You think so?
Oh yeah,
Alright,
think so.
I guess I'll let you start off then because I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna start off by saying the Lost Levels is the worst Mario game.
Really? Okay, that makes a little bit, yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, so first things first, when it comes to Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, I personally do not like this game one single bit. The original Super Mario Bros. Was already kind of a headache to play on its own, so including Lost Levels, which is just Super Mario Bros. But like 10 times more difficult, I wasn't a big fan of that, you know? And look, Super Mario Bros. 1 is not that difficult of a game for NES game standards, but like, Lost Levels is a game that I have never completed, and I don't have any plans to ever complete because it's too difficult. And I have no shame in admitting that. But yeah, it's my least favorite Mario game. It's going directly to the bottom in the F tier.
I guess my least favorite would be Mario 2. If I really want... I don't know. It's just not my game, man. Now, when it comes down to the worst Mario game, I do wholeheartedly believe that Mario Bros. 2 is the worst Mario game for the simple fact that it isn't even a Mario game. This game on its own is fine, but it just isn't a Mario game. As everybody knows, this game was reskinned from Doki Doki Panic to become Mario Bros. 2 in the West because they believed that the lost levels would be too challenging. And they were kind of right, but that still doesn't change the fact that this game just isn't very fun to play. It definitely suffers from that old game jank. And as a man who loves Luigi with all of his heart, he is practically unplayable in this game. The game just feels off. And, of course, that is in part to it not being a Mario game. This game just doesn't feel right to play, and I bet if I did sit down and play through the whole game, I feel like I could find some proper appreciation for it, but I really have no incentive to do so, and that's why it's staying at the bottom of the list.
What about the next worst?
Oh, that's definitely Mario 2.
Okay, or like Lost Levels.
Next up on the docket is Super Mario Bros. 2, the actual Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels. This game was never ported over to the US because they believed that this game would be too hard for us Westerners. And yeah, of course they were right. I mean, perfect judgment call on that. But this is just more of the same from the original Mario Brothers. The original Mario Brothers on its own was not that challenging of a game. Pretty much everything that Matt said before, it's just more of the same, but more challenging, therefore kinda making it worse. If I'm being completely honest, these two bottom rankings can switch at any time for me. But as for right now, I'm locking it in as the second worst Mario game.
I'm actually gonna switch it. Super Mario Bros. 2 is my next worst. So, like, the USA version. Yeah. Because, to be honest, like, Lost Levels is frustratingly bad, but, like, Mario Bros. 2, it isn't frustrating, but, like, it's still not that good, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next game I have in the tier list is Super Mario Bros. 2, and I just felt like this game, it just didn't feel right to me. I wasn't a big fan of how Mario controlled. I wasn't a big fan of the gameplay. I felt like it was a little too convoluted. I just like simple Mario platforming from left side of the stage to the right side of the stage. None of that extra stuff. So, really, I wasn't a big fan of Super Mario Bros. 2, but I can completely understand if you do enjoy the game. I just personally don't because I don't really understand it. And personally, I don't care enough to try and understand the game because it's just not that appealing to me, you know? Maybe one day after I force myself to replay the game and analyze every detail, maybe then I can find some kind of new appreciation for this game, but I don't really care about this one, and honestly, I always get confused when playing this game, so yeah, not a fun Mario game. Yeah, okay, I got my next. This is the original Mario Bros. In E tier.
I deleted E tier.
Okay, Super Mario Bros. 1. This game, I want to stress this, was revolutionary. It is very impactful. It is insane what it did to the gaming industry. I just don't think it's that great when we compare it to modern day platformers, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this tier list. If I feel like a game hasn't aged well, I'm ultimately not going to enjoy it over other platformers that I know for a fact aged a lot better and are much more fun. I've beaten this game about 2 times, and I've never really had a whole lot of fun with this game. My biggest issue is the fact that you cannot control Mario in midair. I want to be able to control Mario so I can actually position Mario correctly so he can platform safely and correctly. But in this game, it seems that when you jump with Mario, you are locked into that position, and I do not like that because that's not what I'm used to when it comes to platformers. I do understand the speedrunner potential with this game because it does require like very direct inputs, and I can acknowledge that, but honestly for me, I don't play games as speedrun, I play them to have fun, and this game wasn't that fun.
Yeah, I'm honestly gonna have to agree. I think it's just kind of... I mean, it's the first in the series, so it's not like gonna be anything grand or anything like that.
It'll always have my respect for like creating a whole, like, it didn't create the genre of games, but it like revolutionized it. It gave us like point A to point B, what level design is, all this thing, like it revolutionized gaming.
Coming up next after the original Mario Bros. 2, I do have the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES. And let's not kid ourselves here. Let's not cut this game any slack. This completely revolutionized gaming forever and practically saved the industry. And it will always have that tied to its name, and for that, I gotta thank it. But, in terms of it being an actual game, it hasn't really aged the best. It just doesn't feel right. The levels all feel samey, everyone already knows the warp zone, so you can just beat the game in like 20 minutes or less, and Mario himself just feels very weird to control. There just isn't a lot of substance to this game that's making me want to keep coming back to play more and more of this game. As its own game, it's alright, but it's just not a game that I'm really ever gonna go back to.
So what's next?
I don't know, I think the rest of the games on this list are C or higher.
I agree.
Honestly, I think my next game might have to be Yoshi's Island. This is a take that I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of flack for, and honestly, I can't blame ya. I went back and replayed through Yoshi's Island after recording this video, and I was dead wrong. When I was talking about this game in the recording, I was just going off my base feelings about the game. I will always have a nostalgic bias for it, but I just don't really remember ever wanting to go back to that game, but to record footage, I did go back to the game. And gosh, I just had a wonderful time. The aesthetic is wonderful, the music is absolutely iconic, Baby Mario's still annoying, but it's still a great game at the end of the day. So instead of it resting comfortably at a pretty low C tier, I'm gonna bump it all the way up to my low A.
Okay, for me, I have to think, okay, I'm gonna put this in B tier. It might drop down to C later on, but New Super Mario Bros. U. Alright, our next game is New Super Mario Bros. U, and believe it or not, I actually do like this game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not peak fiction, it's not peak Mario, it's not peak platformer, it's not really peak anything, but at the end of the day, it is still a decent, fun platformer. It's not terrible. It's good. I mean, it's just a nice, casual 7 out of 10 platformer. I've had my fun with it, and it's especially fun with friends and whatnot. I know it's kind of weird that I went from games that I don't even like one bit to a 7 out of 10 game, but that just really goes to show that most Mario games are pretty dang good.
I think my next take is New Super Mario Bros. For the DS.
What? My next ranking is going to be actually, I think it's going to be New Super Mario Bros. DS. So right above you, but not not worse than you. Alright, next up we have New Super Mario Bros. And this one's kind of self-explanatory. It's a good 2D platformer. The reason why it's not number 1 is because I don't like handheld devices. I know, it's tragic. I don't like playing on handheld devices unless it's a Nintendo Switch because that screen is big enough and you can kind of prop it up on a table, but I just don't like looking down, you know, I'm not a big fan of that. But overall, I played this game through emulation and I really liked it, so, you know, it's pretty good. I mean, it's another 7 out of 10, but, I mean, what can you do? I'm looking at all these games, and all these are bangers. The only game left that is not a banger is New Super Mario Bros. Wii. That is going at the top of B tier. So, just all the New Super Mario Bros. Games in a row, Wii is the best one. Now, finally, to finish off the New Super Mario Bros. Games, we have New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This is my favorite game of the series because I have a lot of memories with it, of playing with my brothers and siblings and friends. This game was my childhood. Granted, it's not that crazily different from New Super Mario Bros. And New Super Mario Bros. U, in my opinion, but it's still a really good game. And also, I feel like it hit that nice balance of challenge and nice casual single-player gameplay. I mean, it's nothing compared to Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World for that matter, but like, I liked it. You know, it's another fun New Super Mario Bros. Game. I feel about the same way with this game as I did the other two, so it's another 7 out of 10 game. I like each of the New Super Mario Bros. Games for very different reasons. Like, if I want to play something very casual, I play U. If I just want to play by myself and vibe, probably New Super Mario Bros. DS. If I want that nice in-between, or I'm with somebody who actually knows how to play the game and not die, then I would play New Super Mario Bros. Wii. What's coming next, man?
Super Mario World. Without a doubt. I might actually put it below 3D Land.
Oh.
I'm not the biggest fan of...
Whoa, what happened there, man?
It's weird. Capping off the C tier, we have Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. And I don't know if this will be a hot take or not. I don't really know the community's thoughts on this game besides that it's pretty loved. But yeah, I enjoyed this game. It was an alright time. There was nothing really wrong with it. It's just, it isn't really a game that I've played all that much. I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have a lot of nostalgia, if any, for this game. It's just a game that's kind of there for me. I'm not the biggest fan of the level design, but the power-ups and Yoshi are pretty cool despite not having a flutter jump. There's not really much I can say about this game. I just don't have a lot of experience with it.
We're gonna have our first A-tier game, which really goes to show how good of a franchise Mario is. We're gonna start with Super Mario Sunshine. I think it's better than all of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, hands down. Okay, for the only A-tier Mario game, we have Super Mario Sunshine, and now this game holds a very special place in my heart. I love this game. It definitely does have flaws. It is the weakest 3D Mario game, but I still enjoy it a lot, and honestly, I enjoy 100%ing it, and I'm very serious about that. Yes, 100%ing it is kind of BS, and it probably shouldn't be so drawn out and annoying to complete, but like, I still have fun completing that game, because once you complete everything, you get that moment of satisfaction, and every player who's beaten Super Mario Sunshine 100%ed it knows exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, they could have rewarded you a bit more, but I still got the satisfaction. I still feel like a king for actually doing that. Most players just cower out and never do it, but me, I did it.
You know what? Oh shit, sorry. I can respect it. Counterpoint, Mario 64.
Whoa, no! What have you done? What have you done?
Starting off my B tier, we have Super Mario 64, the game that revolutionized 3D gaming forever, and kind of revolutionized the platformer genre. This was Mario's glorious jump into 3D, and it's a game that I have a ton of fond memories with. Mainly through emulation and on a really bad PC I had, but it was still a fun time. I like the level design. The controls of Mario are pretty nice. Out of all the things to age well out of that game, the controls are probably the thing that aged the best. The music is absolutely iconic. Everyone can recognize Dire Dire Docks, Peach's Castle, Bob-omb Battlefield, all that junk, and it's just overall a fun time.
So,
you're very lenient on Mario, I'll tell you what.
I am not lenient. These are some of the best games
I haven't even
I've
touched
ever played
A tier yet.
I'm in the S tier already,
You
man.
literally skipped C tier, bro. Oh my god.
I am, because, I mean, New Super Mario Bros. Games are not the best, but, like, I still feel like they're decent games, you know? Starting off the S tier, we have Super Mario... What? No. We have Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island comes first. For my first game in the S tier, I picked Yoshi's Island. If you consider that a Mario game, I'm kind of mixed on it because it really is just a Yoshi game with Mario's face plastered on it for sales, so to me it's a Yoshi game. But I really do like this game, and I feel like it is the perfect introductory game to anybody who is scared to try the SNES era of 2D platformers, because I feel like there's a lot of people too scared to try those because they're too hard and there's game overs and lives, and there's just a lot of daunting things about them. But this game, I feel like, is the perfect first impression because not only is it a bit easier than the other 2D platformers, but it also has a very unique art style and some really cool gimmicks that shows new players what the SNES games are all about, because they weren't as old school as people think, because some of these games were ahead of its time, and this was one of them. But yeah, overall, pretty good Mario game. What else can I say?
I guess the next logical step would be Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Oh my god.
New SMB.
I'm still looking at it being better than Super Mario 64. I can't accept that.
You're gonna have to look at all these being better than 64. Super Mario Bros. Wii is a fun, fantastic little game. Putting it above Super Mario 64 might ruffle a lot of feathers, but we got a lot of games to go that I think are better than Mario 64, so the new Soup games, mainly the ones on the home console, are just plain and simple fun. I absolutely love these titles. They're not so easy to the point where I don't have to think about what I'm doing, I don't have to completely shut off my brain to enjoy these games. It's just simple fun. I can sit down at any point in time, pick up and play this game, have a good time, put it down, and then come back at any time. There's nothing pushing me to keep coming back to this game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a game that I pick up and play every so often, and I'm like, yeah, that was fun. And that's all it needs to be, honestly.
Okay. Next is Super Mario World, above Yoshi's Island in S tier. For my next game that I picked, I have Super Mario World, and I absolutely love this game a lot. It's very iconic. It's sold over like 20 million units, and it's been played on like every console known to man, so you've probably played it too, and you probably know how great this game is. It has a nice balance of challenge, it has good level design, not the best level design, we'll get to that. It has Yoshi, has cool power-ups, and overall, I feel like this game was just a journey from beginning to end. There's not much else to say, but this game was peak, and that's all I gotta say about it.
All right.
What you got next?
I guess what I got next... Mario Sunshine. Probably at the top of B for me. Now we've come to Super Mario Sunshine, and to be honest, I don't really have a lot to say on this game. I have some nostalgic bias for this game, but it doesn't really help its overall ranking, as I just thought it was alright when I was a kid. And of course, when Mario 3D All-Stars came out on the Nintendo Switch, I played the hell out of it and finally beat it for the first time, and yeah, I mean, that sure was a Mario game. It is very fun, and I do enjoy it a lot. I think the flood mechanics are very awesome when they work properly, and Mario's controls overall are pretty bad, but that's why Flood's there, to help him out. I think the shines look very cool, I think the soundtrack is awesome, some of the level designs are very unique and cool, and yeah, it's just a fun time all around. Of course, I'm not as crazy as Matt, and have no desire to ever 100% the game, but it's a very fun time.
Now this is hard. I know I'm about to make a hot take. Well, I'm not. I might. Okay.
Good, because all of your takes have been pretty mid and safe.
I have to think about this. All right. I think I don't know if I should make this take or not. I'm thinking about it. All right. We're gonna make.
Don't devolve yourself for other people.
Well, I'm debating with myself right now. I'm not even sure. I'm gonna do it anyway. Just know that this is not every day of the week that I think this, but next is Mario Odyssey. Okay, next I picked Super Mario Odyssey, and I do realize that this is kind of a hot take to most people, because I'd be seeing you guys' lists, and I noticed that Super Mario Odyssey is always in the top 3 because you guys love this game, but personally, I do love it. It is a great game. It is a fantastic video game, but I just don't feel like it's peak 3D Mario. The two things that I didn't really like that much from this game was the level design and the challenge. Those two things kind of go hand in hand because it's a platformer, but I just feel like this game did not challenge the player enough when it comes to platforming. Like, Super Mario Odyssey just gave Mario the best moveset that a platformer has ever seen. I have never played a single platformer that controls better than this game. But the level design just does not live up to the controls. Like, you're giving us so much control over Mario in this game, and yet the level design is very simple. I mean, it is a collectathon, but like, I want more challenging platforming. I want to actually have to get creative with my ideas on how I platform so I can get to collectibles in much more challenging ways. The thing that irks me about this game is that they're so close to the best Mario game. Like, I want a Super Mario Odyssey 2 very badly because I want to see Cappy return, and I want to see another Mario game that actually challenges the player with the Cappy moveset. And I think the developers knew how easy this game was, and, you know, I just want to say this, that easy games aren't bad games. Yes, Super Mario Odyssey is easy, but if you like that, that's fine, I don't really care. But me personally, I like challenging games. I like games that challenge you when you platform. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey. Still a great game. That's like a 9 out of 10, maybe 9.5 out of 10, but great game. Okay, so we kind of forgot about a 3D Mario game, and it goes directly under Super Mario Odyssey, and I chose Bowser's Fury. Now, Bowser's Fury would have been a top 2 3D Mario game. It could even beat my favorite if it had more content. The game is 6 hours at most if you are playing casually. We didn't get a whole lot of content, but from what content we did get, that was peak fiction. That is exactly what I want from Mario, and I want to see that implemented in Super Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever next 3D Mario game they choose to make, because that was addicting. That was peak Mario. Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of it. That's all I can say, but I mean, it just needs more content, Nintendo. Please, give us a game like that.
Yeah, we also forgot Bowser's Fury, but yeah, pretty much everything that Matt said. I guess next for me, the top of... No, I think we're done with B. I think I'm gonna go to A.
Oh,
now.
You're going to A?
I think I'm finally going to A. Oh, I think next for me might be New Super Mario Bros. 3.
Nah, you capping.
With Super Mario Bros. 3, I think there's a lot to go over, but we don't have that much time. This game is peak fiction. I think it is one of the best Mario games and one of the best 2D platformers I have ever played. There's just the perfect amount of spice and challenge to make this game relative. I mean, it's kind of easy, but it's also kind of not at the same time. The power-ups are awesome. The music is awesome. The level design is fantastic. I can't remember if I already said that, but whatever. This game, I'm just surprised that this is on the Nintendo Entertainment System. One of the most dated, and the original Mario Bros. Came out on that system, and I think it's so bizarre how the worst and one of the best Mario games released on that console. Mario Bros. 3 is a fantastic time and worth your time. Worth everybody's time.
Okay, for my next pick, we have Super Mario Bros. 3, and this is one of my favorite 2D platformers of all time. Like, of all time, period. Super Mario Bros. 3 is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10, easily. This game is peak fiction. The level design is peak. The soundtrack is peak. The power-ups is peak. The level progression is peak. Everything is peak. Multiplayer is peak. Everything is peak. It is peak. Raw, hot, fire. That is what it is. And I will not take any other answer because all of you watching this video knows I'm spitting the truth. But the thing that really is just wild about this game is that it came out on the NES. The NES. How was it able to accomplish all this? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of most NES games, but this game somehow managed to be one of my favorites, and it's on one of my least favorite console libraries. How did Nintendo make this? How did they have the brains, the skill, and the developers to craft this game? What magic were they cooking? I don't want to talk any more on this because I'll be here all day, but Super Mario Bros. 3 was peak fiction.
Alright, I guess next for me would be, I think I'm gonna have to retire New Super Mario Bros. U up in A tier. I know you're hurting, Matt. This is probably gonna make some people mad, but yeah, I do think New Super U is the best 2D Mario game. It barely edges out Mario 3 for me, and I just don't know what to say about this game that a lot of people will agree with. I mean, yeah, it's just more of the same that we've already grown about, but I just think it's a fun time. Same thing with New Super Wii. It's just a game I can pick up and play at any point in time, have fun with, and then put down and not be pressured to come back. I just think it's a fantastic little time. It's its own contained little game, and I picked it up back when it came out on the Switch, and that was my first time ever playing it. And I'm also grouping it with New Super Luigi U, and that game is actually challenging. It's fun, it's fast-paced, and yeah, it's not too easy. I died quite a bit of times on that game, so I guess thanks to that game, it's a challenging Mario game. It's just a fun time overall. It's not gonna knock your socks off or anything, but it is my favorite 2D Mario game that I just keep coming back to all the time.
Alright, let's see, what's next for me? I feel bad for having to do this, but our first game in S Plus is going to be 3D World. I started off my S Plus tier with Super Mario 3D World, and I know that is a very strange pick, but just hear me out. This game, I know, is kinda mixed with some Mario fans, like most kinda consider it one of the least favorite 3D Mario games, but I personally love this game. As you know with me, I love platforming in 3D platformers. I know it's crazy, but there's a lot of 3D platformers that, yes, does have platforming, but it's not like the main star of the show. There's a lot of other side things like little gimmicks and enemies to fight. Super Mario 3D World was truly about platforming. There is not a single moment in this game where you're not platforming over some dangerous death pit or some enemies. There is not a single moment where you're not jumping. It is so good. Single player, multiplayer, get with someone who's actually good with the game. This game is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10, peak fiction, and I'm happy that Super Mario Odyssey exists, because now people can respect this game for what it was. This is probably my second most played 3D Mario game. I think on the Nintendo Switch alone, I have about 115 hours put into this game, and I can still pick it up today and play through it again because I'd never get bored of this game. This game is peak fiction. I'm going to be saying peak fiction a lot, so get used to it.
I'm gonna have to go in, I have to say, Mario Galaxy 2 top of A. Capping off our A ranking, we have Super Mario Galaxy 2. This game is amazing. At the end of the day, this game is really just more Mario Galaxy, more of like a DLC expansion pass for the game. And I can't really go too far into this game without talking about the original Mario Galaxy, which we'll get to here in a minute, so we'll see. I guess after that would be Mario Odyssey at the bottom of S. Coming in at my third favorite Mario game, we have Super Mario Odyssey. This is our first S tier game, and there is almost nothing about this game that feels like wasted potential. Yeah, this game is a little easy, but it is a fantastic time from beginning to end. This truly revolutionized the Mario formula and feels like the real successor to Mario 64. I love it from beginning to end. All the cool costumes, all the cool captures, all the levels are really cool. Some of the moons feel wasted and more like filler, but honestly, with that many moons in the game, of course there's going to be quite a few simple ones, but the Meteor Quest feels so much fun, and the dark side of the moon, darker side, were all so fun to play. I do agree with Matt. I do believe we need a Super Mario Odyssey 2 to refine more of those finer elements that feel like they got a little bit wasted in the original Mario Odyssey. And I do feel like places like the Cloud Kingdom and the Ruin Kingdom, I feel like those were a little bit wasted, but overall, it's still an amazing time.
I'm going to rank the two Galaxy games together. At the top of the S Plus tier, I chose the Super Mario Galaxy games. I grouped them together because they're both very similar games. Like, yes, Super Mario Galaxy 2 might be slightly better with level design and whatnot, but they're both very similar in quality, and they're practically the same game, just expanded, you know? Both of these games are peak fiction, and I think this is what most Mario fans will choose as their favorite, either this game or 64 Odyssey. Like, those are probably the magnum opuses for Mario, and I agree. Galaxy accomplished so much, and it just hit the nail on everything that makes a video game good. The story, while being very simple, is really good for a Mario game, and it's so memorable, man. The gameplay, you don't need me to tell you, it's very linear. I love the fast-natured gameplay that it has. Galaxy is peak. But yeah, this duology of games is peak, and, you know, if they ever want to make a Super Mario Galaxy 3, I would be all for it.
My second favorite Mario game of all time is Super Mario 3D World. Everything about this game simply feels right. The level design is perfect. It's like they took 2D Mario and 3D Mario and slapped them into a game, and we got 3D World. 3D World is just simply 3D Land, but 50 times better. The catsuit is awesome, the controls feel borderline perfect, and especially with the additions of like the roll-in stuff from the Switch version, it only got better. Champions Road is challenging, and it's just an amazing game. It's very similar to New Soup U and the New Soup games in general, where I can just pick up and play it at any time and put it down and not be pressured to come back. Except it does it 20 times better than the New Soup games. It's an amazing game, and I think everybody watching this should play it now. But there is one more game that trumps all of them, and that is Super Mario Galaxy. What can I say about this game that already hasn't been said? This game is one of my favorite games of all time, period. It's one of those games where I have an unbelievable amount of nostalgic bias for this game. But then I come back to it, and it only gets better with age. I don't think this game has aged a single day. While you can make some arguments for Mario Bros. 3, the New Soup games, I don't think this game has aged one single bit. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect from beginning to end. The soundtrack is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. The level design is super creative and unique. The story is the best story in all of Mario. The controls just feel right. Everything is right with this game. I don't think there's a single thing wrong with it. Each star feels fun and meaningful. This was the most fun I've ever had 100%ing a game. And I'm doing it again and again. With Luigi this time, so it automatically makes it better. This game is an absolute blast from beginning to end. And out of every Mario game, this one still stands the test of time to this very day. Where I play some games from my childhood and think they're worse or the same, this game has only gotten better for me. And I think that is a true monument to how amazing this series is. So yeah, smacking Mario Galaxy at the top of my list.
Okay, I chose for my favorite Mario game of all time, what I consider to be the best game, is Super Mario 64. This game, I know, has its issues, and I am not blind to that. The controls, while being very accurate, does have some inconsistencies, like Mario turns in a car-like motion. The camera also seems to fight with the player a lot, and I can understand why that gets on so many people's nerves. But me personally, I love the level design and the controls in this game's atmosphere and the levels just so much that I can overlook all of its issues. In fact, I see those issues as positives now. I am actually having fun when I am fighting the camera with this game. And you know, a lot of people say that you don't really love something until you overlook its flaws. If you ever wonder, like, what is my favorite game of all time? Things like that. Think about what game that you know has blatant issues that you specifically choose to overlook. That is probably your favorite, because no game is perfect. There is no 10 out of 10 game. There's only 10 out of 10 games for us by our standards. There is no objectively perfect video game. What I may consider perfect, somebody else somewhere probably doesn't. I love this game so much that I'm willing to defend the camera and the garbage controls. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree, and you know, that's fine. Like, if you want to play a more polished Mario game that has better controls and better camera like Super Mario Galaxy or Super Mario Odyssey, go right ahead. It's not an insult on your opinion, although I will say you are completely wrong. You should honestly play more Super Mario 64. Besides that, that is my ranking, and I hope you guys enjoyed my rankings. I'll hand it off back to D.Doe.
And there you have it. That is every mainline Mario game ranked. So, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put it down in the comments below. Before I sign off, I want to give a huge thanks to Matt Makes Content for collabing with me on this video. We had an absolute blast ranking through all of these, and honestly, I'd be so down to do it again. What series do you want me or Matt to rank next? Make sure to let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that yada yada. I don't ask you guys for much. But anyways, that's gonna do it today. Have a wonderful Mario Day. And yeah, that's gonna do it from me, everybody. This is D.Doe, signing off. Stay fresh.